Good Wednesday morning, friends, or afternoon, or evening, or middle of the night, whenever you might be having a chance to join together. My name is Reverend Jennifer Finley, for those I might not know, and I'm our Momentum and Discipleship Pastor at First UMC here in Kirksville. And this is our time that we take together in the middle of the week, each week, to pause and to reflect together on where we see God at work in our lives. I'm hoping that we see God at work today in a stable internet connection. My internet connection is a little unstable this morning, so if we get disconnected, we'll try to reconnect. But hopefully that won't happen. I hope that you can hear the birds behind me up in the trees, as well as the mower in the neighboring yard. Um, it is a joy to be gathering together, and as we do each week, we take a moment to pause and to ask ourselves, where is God meeting us in the midst this week? Where has God shown up? And last week I shared that some of our summer moments together, I'm going to be using a liturgy, a poem, a thought process that comes from this book called Broken Wide Whole. And this is a series of words that are going to guide our reflections together in the next few weeks. And so I'm just going to remind us of these words. Refuge. Find your refuge in safe spaces of comfort and trust. Comfort. Find comfort in your own skin. Awaken. Awaken to the love that lives within and surrounds you. Plant. Be rooted in fertile spaces and give yourself room to grow. Seek. Live your adventure with open eyes and open hearts. Tend. Cultivate love and wholeness with tender hands and hearts. Explore. Embody spaces of gratitude and wholeness. Wonder. Open to your deep yes and sparkling warmth of wonder. Show up. Be your beautiful best, fully present to who you are and who you are becoming. Share. Spread joy and hope as you share your story. Encircle. Gather your tribe and enrich one another's lives with tender beauty. Dwell. Live your life you love. Love the life you live. Be well within. And so this morning, as I'm asking myself that question of where have I seen God at work, I'm thinking about this first word, this first word of refuge. Find your refuge in safe spaces of comfort and trust. And so I've been thinking about what spaces create comfort and trust, spaces that we can trust ourselves and trust God. And so I am coming to you from one of my places of refuge, my backyard hammock. Um, I finally bought a hammock about a year or so ago, I suppose, and it is a space that I find rest and comfort, a space that even just suspended a few inches above the ground reminds me that I can trust, that something can hold me, that I can rest in, sometimes even hide in, curl up in the hammock and no one can see me, right? Um, but it got me to thinking about what are those spaces in our lives that can create that space in which we can feel like we are being held by God and by others. It might be a literal hammock like this, but I wonder for you, what are those spaces? They could be physical spaces. For some folks, that is the physical pews of a church building. And I'm grateful that we now have the opportunity to be back in those pews. Um, I'm also grateful for the opportunity to be online because for some folks, that is also a space of comfort and trust. Um, but it might not be a physical space at all. It could be the space that is created between friends, sitting around a table or on the phone. And so I'm wondering for you, what are your spaces of refuge? When things get busy, when the storms rage, where do you retreat to? Where does God meet you? Where are those spaces, physical or metaphorical, that you can sit and trust that you are being held? I hope and pray you have those. And as a community of faith, we help create those for each other. And so, as I ask that question, I invite you to truly answer it. It might be in a journal, it might be sharing aloud with a friend, it might be putting something in the comments as you join together to share with each other what are your spaces that create trust and rest and comfort. For that's the starting spot in our liturgy. That's the starting spot that allows us to do the other things, to be comfortable in our own skin, to awaken to love and life. So this summer, we're going to be exploring some of those, and I promise I won't be coming from my hammock every week, although it's tempting. It's tempting, Pastor Scott, I promise I really will come back to the office, but for the moment, I may just hang out in the hammock a little while longer. Friends, I hope and pray that whatever your days bring and the rest of this week, that you have spaces of refuge and comfort where God can meet you. Go in strength and peace. Amen.